All right. So I want to talk about Beyond the Gates. All right. We are in week two, at least the order of my reviews, how my reviews are going. Okay. So we're in week two. We have episodes 6 through 10. I'm hoping this isn't that long of a review because I did take a few notes, okay? And everything isn't all that important in my personal, but sometimes I can go overboard with my notes, okay? Especially when I ain't trying to have like a long video. So let us just go ahead and hop into it, all right? Um all right, first thing I wanted to highlight was Danny. Danny up there holding everybody as hostage, okay? Danny up there holding everybody hostage because she's about to sit up there and shoot somebody, or at least threaten to shoot somebody, okay? She fired off the first shot, but she didn't hit Bill, nor did she hit Haley. She hit some flowers or whatever. So that was to pretty much scare them, as if the gun wasn't scaring that enough, okay? So Bill does eventually takes it from her because she tried to get them on their knees, and then Bill said, Haley ain't finna do eat motherfucking thing. If you think my girl finna get on her knees, you got me fucked up, period, okay? I don't know who the hell you think you talking to because ain't nobody finna get on their motherfucking knees out here. And she said, well, how about you do it, okay? You know you used to being in that position while you want to run your mouth, okay? It ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun, and I am giving the rabbit right now. So like I said, get on your mother. So okay, since you want to be a hoe and thought and bop when you was my mother, get on your knees, bitch. Okay, so she tell him to get on them knees, honey. He act like he finna get on them knees. Then he sat up there and he just snatched the gun from her ass. Okay, let me tell y'all something. I hated to see Danny up there spazzing over that man. I was like, girl, can you just stop? Like you spazzing out. First of all, we already know it's a soap opera, girl. They gotta give us the drama, they gotta give us the soaps or whatever. But listen, I was like, why are you over here spazzing out over this man who ain't talking about that? And you know what? Every time you play in a movie, sir, you are anxious. I'm gonna say, you are anxious man. You're not. That's what it's giving just a little bit. Okay, because you was like that over there on Queen Sugar. You seem to be a little okay, but then you turned around and you was over there cheating on the ladies. Like, is you like this in real life? Are you playing yourself? Anywho, so I did like the fact that she messed up that wedding because how dare her parents make her attend a wedding? They knew they was flawed and wrong as hell for that. Okay? Making this lady attend a wedding of her ex to act like she condones and she supports it. And they should have known, invite her to the wedding. And she was going, nook if you book and tear that bitch up anyway. That's what they should have do. So she ended up tearing the wedding up just a little bit, but it didn't stop anything because, of course, they ended up getting married anyway after everything was all said and done. And it really sucked in a sense, I guess, for Haley. Of course, we don't really care about her feelings in all honesty. But it sucked for Haley because she didn't want to have an empty wedding and you ended up having that anyway. But okay, girl. So Nicole's son is the Congressman Martin. And you know, over the past few episodes, week two, Martin started to get on my nerves. I am not liking Martin. Okay. Martin, you getting on my nerves. You're very self-absorbed. You're extremely self-centered and you give a bit of controlling just a piece. First of all, there's a completely different side to Martin than what we were really seeing. Of course, they're kind of hinting at it. They're foreshadowing some stuff, and I cannot wait to find out what they really is. But Martin, it's something about you, honey, okay? So, anywho, I do understand about him being concerned about the leak that's taking place because this congressman and also being a part of the Dupree family, you want to protect the image of your family, so I get it. But to me, it just seems like because, of course, I believe it was Chelsea, she ended up leaving her phone recording. All right, so Chelsea left her phone recording on live by accident or whatever. I feel like it could have been intentional, but whatever. So she recorded it and of course it got out to everybody. He wanted to protect it, but I just felt like he was more so trying to protect his own image more than just his family. It was something about him because of course we learned at a later time that his bigger goal is to potentially run for president. So it really was about him more than it was about protecting, you know, his aunt and his family. So I guess, child. Now, anywho, Danny. Although Danny thought that she was stopping something, like I said, they still ended up getting married. Now, when it comes to this Leslie woman, I want us to switch up and I want us to get to the woman named Leslie because Leslie, in my personal, is not to be trusted. Leslie's ass is not to be trusted. Of course, we already know that. But my thing is, Leslie is so not to be trusted that I am starting to question whether or not Ted is actually the father of Eva. She says that that is his daughter, but I'm starting to think something different. Now, at one point when I first started watching the show, I said, okay, you know what? I think Ted could have essayed her or something when they were younger, and she could have potentially got pregnant with this child, ran off, had the child, whatever. So she's back. All right. And never know how the spin may go. That still could be true. Who knows? But aside from that, now that I see how she kind of lusts over him, still has a desire to be with him, so much jealous of Nicole, I'm starting to see Miss Leslie completely different. So let's talk about this surrogate thing. So the story that Eva and Leslie will refer. So first of all, Leslie's not even her real name, and I forgot what her real name is, but it's not Leslie. That's the name that Eva will refer to her as when they're out in public. Okay. And you know what's interesting? Like sometimes you still can recognize people from your college days or your, school days when you get older. Like, and I'm like, what makes you think changing your name is going to make him forget about, like, what makes you think changing your name is going to make him not know who the hell you are? So I'm like, was it like a one night stand type thing and you're obsessing over him and maybe he may remember your name but not remember your middle name? Like it's something about it that's really confusing to me. And I'm starting to think that Leslie S is a criminal, period. I think that the story about the surrogate where Eva her mother died, even though that's supposed to be a lie, and Leslie raised her as her own type thing. I'm starting to think that Eva ain't even her damn child. That's just a thought. I'm thinking that there is truth to the story that is being told, but Eva don't know that that is the actual truth. I think Eva believes that Leslie is truly her mom. I'm starting to think that Leslie is not her mom. She could have been best friends with her mom or something like that. I don't know. And I think that she could have clapped somebody back in the day because clearly she ain't got no issue with clapping nobody. Hello? The way she ran old girl off the road. Okay. So I feel like she could have clapped somebody, clapped the girl mama back in the day, took her, fled, and got taken on a whole new identity and started living a whole new life. Okay. So even what her real name is, I'm questioning if that is even her real name. Okay. On top of the fact that we got Leslie. All right. So it's something about it, and I just don't trust it. And I said, damn, I wouldn't be surprised if that's not even Ted's real daughter. And in all honesty, I kind of hope Eva is not Ted's real daughter. Okay. That was another thought. All right. That she could have just taken somebody else's child from them, raised them as her own, and then just put a daddy on her because that's the daddy that she wants that girl to have because she has this obsession over this man and she never got over him. And mind you, this man is over here living beyond the gates. And it seems like, because she said something to Eva at one point when they were on the getting ready. I guess Eva was about to get on the elevator. She said something. I don't know if it was at that time or another time where she says people think they can live these perfect lives beyond the gates, but what they don't know is somebody can come behind those gates and mess their world up or whatever it was. So basically, it's given she's been stalking this man for some time, potentially. All right, she done found this man beyond the gates. She started to befriend somebody that worked for close to the family or whatever, and here we are. All right, so Leslie is a criminal and she is a weirdo. All right, so what else? I want to know more about Ashley and Andre's history. Okay, now her man doesn't. Now let me make sure that let me make sure that that is that man's name, y'all. Let me make sure because is it yeah, Ashley and Andre, because Andre is Andre Richardson. That's the nephew to Ted. Yes. So Ashley is the girl that is the white lady that works as the nurse or whatever. So I just want to know what is their dynamic, because when they first started talking at the hospital, it seems like they have a history with each other. Maybe they went to high school together or something like that. Not necessarily sure, but he operates as though Ashley was the woman that got away. Okay. Even though he slick is falling for Danny, and Danny is playing his ass to the left, which is also interesting considering the fact that he the type of man that doesn't want the attachment. He wants to be able to jet set, be on the go. You let him in the house, he knock you down real quick and go on about his business. But Danny is using him just a little piece, and I love it for her. I love that for her. But anywho, when they delivered that baby in the damn elevator, and I was like, first of all, they've been in the elevator this whole time and y'all didn't hear their ass screaming. So it took her man to show up to the elevator and just tap the button and then it opened up magically. Like I was like, okay, now y'all could have did a better job with that. But anywho, so They take a picture together with the child they helped deliver, and her man over there standing off to the side, feeling away the way he looking at them. So I wonder if he too knows the history as well, or what the hell. Like, y'all gonna have to give us a little more of what's going on. Now, Bill wants to go to a press conference because after Danny showed her ass at the wedding, the family decided they finna go ahead and do this press conference to try and, save their image or whatever the case is. Go ahead and calm down all the hype because the video that was recorded on live is now going viral. Okay, now Haley is not in support of this because Haley's like, you know what I'm saying? This is our wedding night or whatever. Like, this our wedding night, and I don't really like the fact that you trying to get me to go over here, or at least you're trying to leave and go and do what you want to do on the wedding night. Okay, we should be spending time together. Don't worry about no press conference. Whatever she did, it is what it is. Let us put that behind us and move forward. And Bill is like, it's gonna be kind of hard to do that because in his head, Danny Dupree is going to keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming at him. And I feel like Bill puts that in his head even when Danny is not really trying to come at him. Like, he did something in the later episodes. I think it was after Danny came to talk to old girl and pretty much was like, I'm done arguing or whatever. Like, I'm finna move forward. I ain't got no beef with you right now at this moment. Okay. I still don't like how you operated with my husband. You took no accountability. BIT, you was over there sleeping with this man under my roof. You had my phone number. You ain't called me. You ain't tell me SHI and all this and that. But it's all good because now that you married to him, girl, he's your problem now. You wanted him so bad, BITCH. He's your motherfucking problem now, girl. And she said something else to her. And Haley was like, are you threatening me? She said, bitch, ain't nobody threatening you, girl. I'm up here warning you. Okay. I am warning you of how this man is going to show up, because now that he got you and he feels like he owns you because he put a ring on it, things will be changing real soon. And I believe everything that Danny is saying. Okay. So, anywho, um, it was after Danny stopped by the house to have that talk with him that he ended up saying something like, well, she's going to keep coming at us. Like, no matter what, Danny's going to keep coming. And it's like, well, she just said she gonna let it go. So do you really believe she gonna keep coming? Or do you have this thing about making her suffer? Because that's what it seems to me. You have this thing about it that you have to make her suffer. You have this thing where you have to get back at her. You have to one up her. You can't let her get away. I don't know, but okay, that's what it is. And in a real life situation, in all honesty, who the hell finna let go of a fact that somebody done pulled a gun on them? Some people might. And then some people won't. But okay. So they do the press conference or whatever. The press conference ended up being a shit show. Danny does show up. She started to tell her story. The reporters ended up pretty much, well, first of all, the daddy was trying to play in the people's face, first of all, trying to act like what happened didn't happen. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. So the mama, I liked how the mama stepped in, even though the mama was not featuring Danny and didn't like her actions. Okay. When Nicole brought her to the house and asked the mama, is there anything you need to say to her? The mama sat up there and said, girl, you don't get the hell out of my face saying it, because let me tell you something. If she ain't get no apology from them, she damn sure ain't get one from me. I said, oh, this a nasty mama here, honey. Oh, you a nasty Dupree. So anywho, the mama did get up there, and at the end of the day, what mama's gonna do, mama's gonna have your back, period. And she spent that story, but it wasn't much that she needed to spend because it was actual factual. Okay, it was very much so actual and factual, because he did do that. He did, embarrass her, cheat on her under her roof with a younger girl, a woman that was a friend to your child. Like, just like, she was being real honest. And it started to look good for Danny until Bill arrived. And then, he had to kind of like put his little spin on it and all that. And I just can't. Anywho, Bill, like, ugh, I guess. So when Bill wanted to go to the press conference, Haley didn't want it. She wanted him to, spend the night with her. So since he could not, in an effort to give her what she wanted, which was to be with him on the wedding night and him still get his way, because it's always going to be Bill's way, period. That's what they're showing. Bill brings her ass to the press conference, child. Anywho, so we get flashbacks to understand Danny's rage, because she pretty much gave up everything for this man. She gave up everything, her modeling career, whatever she had, to make that man more successful. She even gave up her family. Excuse me. She even gave up her family, more so giving access, right? She gave up access to her family for this man to go off and be successful with their connects, okay? Then she stayed at home and raised the daughters. Like, I'll be mad as hell too. Girl, it's giving I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna shed no tear. It's giving, Angela Bassett in Waiting to Exhale, burning all this down. For sure. And then you gonna mess with the younger girl? Oh yeah. And then that's your child's friend? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh no. So we definitely understand the rage of it all when it comes for Danny and why she's so upset. Because he even and then the way that it was shot, right? This looks like it was recent. It looks like it was just months ago, or maybe even a year prior, where one of their daughters is married. The other one is doing good in whatever field she's doing. And they just left one of the daughters' weddings. And he was asking his wife to do life with him all over again, and this, that, and the other, and how much he loved her, and this and that. And then you just switched on her like that. Just switched on her so you can go and marry this hot young thing. Like, child, did you ever care? Now let me tell y'all something. Miss Danny did end up sleeping now. She ended up getting over him by getting up under her sister's nephew by marriage, honey. And don't nobody know about it. So I wonder how everybody gonna feel once they find out Danny fucking your nephew. Okay? Danny fucking your man. Danny smashing your nephew. Girl, how you gonna feel about that once y'all find out? They keeping it under wraps. But what's gonna happen is I think Andre is going to fall for her because she's playing him to the left. Like, okay, you just somebody I hunt you, I'm not going about my business. But I think Andre is going to end up falling for her, but can't seem to help himself with wanting to still smash on Ashley. And it kind of gives to me that he wants to see if he still got that. You know what I'm saying? See if he still got that when it comes to his ex or whatever. But I guess, because that's what I think they could have messed around before. But anywho, so Eva does meet Nicole's daughter. I believe it's Kat. So Eva meets Nicole's daughter and the dad, and her daughter gets this real bad vibe about her right out the gate. When I tell y'all I am loving Kat, I'm loving her spidey senses right out the gate, being able to pinpoint what the hell going on with Eva. All right. It's something off. She walk in her mama office and automatically she see this girl snooping through stuff. So that leaves me to believe that Kat had already been kind of watching her for a second before she went in there. Okay? Because you just don't bust up in a room and then see somebody in the drawer and assume that they snooping. So I feel like Kat was by that door like watching her already. But so she introduced herself also later on to the dad, okay? Introduces herself to Ted at some time. And when Ted catched it, I don't know if anybody caught this. So Ted asked her, what is her name? And I don't remember her making reference to this in the week one. So y'all let me know. But in week two, when she got ready to say her name, she started to say, I'm sorry, I mean Eva is what she said. So I'm like, okay, so is your name not Eva as well? So did Leslie take on a whole new identity and told you to call her Leslie and then gave you a whole new identity? Because again, it appears that these people may be new to Beyond the Gates. And now that makes sense as to why Kat was kind of coming at her the way that she is, because it's like we know everybody in our town beyond these gates. Like in these gates, we know everybody. You're a little new. You know what I'm saying? Just a little piece. Like, and I looked you up and I couldn't really find a whole lot about you, like this, that, and the other. So I don't really trust you like that, girl. So I'm wondering, what's your real name? Is it some sort of Raven or something? Some with an R, because she was about to say Ray. I'm sorry. Eva. That's what she said. So I was like, okay, I'm watching you, girl. So anywho, Vanessa and Doug McBride, they are a complete mess. Vanessa cheating on him down, and he cheating on her ass too with the poker table, because the way that man sit up there and gamble is crazy. He's supposed to be some type of doctor of some sort, and you would think he got money, but he's spending all his money up down there at some little mini casino, some little small juke joint place that this man runs. Okay, not him, but the other guy that he about to get himself tied up into. And when I tell you it's gonna be bad, it's gonna be real bad for Ted. I think Ted gonna either come up missing, get clapped, or the whole town, it's gonna be favors on favors to get the man up off of him. But you know what else I'm starting to wonder? Let me know if y'all thinking what I'm thinking. So y'all know she's messing, Vanessa's messing with that little masseuse trainer dude. I'm wondering if that masseuse trainer guy may have any type of connection to the man that runs that casino. Because later on in the week, what we learned was that man ended up giving money, okay, so what's his name? Doug McBride or Mac, whatever his last name is. Okay. Doug Mac something. So Doug ends up losing his money at the poker table. He needs more money, but they've already given him enough and they can't give him no more until he paid out some of the debts he already got. He wants to talk to the big man in charge, but his friend advises him not to do that. He like, listen, that is not the man you want to make deals with. I'm telling you. Because if you don't come through, he gonna take you up out this. Okay. So Ted, I'm sorry, not Ted, but Doug is like, okay, cool, I ain't gonna worry about it. But then Doug also still turns around and still connects with the man. Okay, the man already paid down his debts or whatever, but it seems like the man was aware. The man learned all that he needed to learn from him. I feel like the man put him in a position to lose the way that he did, learned all he needed to learn, and started to take advantage of him. Like, yeah, I'm gonna buy him out his debts. I'm gonna give him even more money so that he's tied to me, obligated to me in a sense. And because he does, doctor work or whatever, I don't know if he's gonna use his experience to save a family member, if he's gonna use that experience to clap some people on his behalf. I don't know what he's gonna try to do, but he's definitely gonna have Doug in his pocket. And I think the guy wanted to meet with Doug. And so when Doug gets out the car, his friend comes in the car and he's talking to him. And the guy and the friend that told Doug don't go this way, he talks to the big man in charge and says, now, why are you over here dealing with Doug when you know that he's a lost cause? You know he not good for the money. And the man said, because I'm trying to put him in the exact position I got him in. I'm going to have him so knee deep, he ain't going to know what the hell to do. Why you want to do that? IDK, but that's how they work, child. So he's gonna mess some stuff up. But what I'm wondering is if the big dude that got Doug tied up is somehow connected to the masseuse that Miss Vanessa is messing with. And I say that because damn near everybody on this show is connected in some type of fashion, right? So I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised, okay? Because I feel like the masseuse got a little bit of that Italian going on, just a little piece in him, just like the other dude got a little bit of that Italian in him as well. And then he comes to Vanessa at the table and tell her about, oh, my cousin, he's a billionaire or whatever, or a millionaire. He's trying to look for homes and yada, 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 or whatever. And I just wanted to see if, you would show him a home. But granted, it was all a scheme to get her to go to one of the properties so they can hunch it out. But I don't know why y'all trying to be private about it, because she ends up kissing the man down to the little club they be going to in front of whoever would see. So if she's trying to keep the affair a secret, it's not working. But I also feel like that could be a play from the man who sent his nephew to start an affair with her, because if he can't get Doug by way of the casino situation, then he'll get Doug by way of, manipulating and having some control over his wife. So I feel like there could be a connection, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, Bradley is ready to go back to being a reporter, baby. And it seems like Martin wanting him to just stay at the house and be a damn house husband. So I think that Martin may have retired him early so that he could be by his side, raise the kids and stuff. But as the week progresses, I'm starting to think that the reason Martin does not want him to go back and work as an investigative journalist or reporter, one, maybe he's going to end up investigating him about something. But mostly, two, I think a lot of it has something to do with the dream that Martin had. Remember, Martin done clapped somebody, and I don't know who the hell he done killed. I don't know if that was the last project that his husband was working on before he stopped being an investigative journalist, and he knows that once he gets back to work, that's something that he's going to want to look into. I don't know, but I think that it is connected to that as to why he wants that man to just sit at home and stuff. And also, just like who we already got in office trying to become president so they can escape whatever crimes they got, I see Martin doing the same thing. If I can run for president and become a higher power, even if I did clap somebody or do whatever I did in the past, they can't do anything to me because I have the highest power or whatever. So, I don't know. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts, but that's what I can see. All right. Eva's starting to think that Leslie was the one that ran that girl off the road. So they have a full conversation. She gave her the update. I met Ted, this, that, and the other, whatever. And she starts to question, like, wait a minute, all of this stuff is lining up too good. Like, did you have something to do with this girl that was ran off the road? And she was like, girl, no. So the way that Leslie put this whole act up, this elaborate, oh my God, wow, how could you? Yada, all this other extra shit to put a spin on making her not be on her trail, to know that she was the one that did this, because she said, I remember you used to rent like motorcycles and stuff like that. She's like, girl, why, how dare you? Why would you ever think I would do something like that? And I'm like, okay, the fact that I thought Eva knew about this originally. We're learning that Eva didn't know anything about it. And the way that Leslie is handling this leaves me to believe a lot of my own theory that ain't even your damn mama. And it's a lot of stuff that you don't know that you think you you do know, okay? And the fact that you over there digging in files trying to find shit, you gonna fuck around and find out who your real mama is. Just a little piece now. I don't know, but that's how I'm feeling. It's just a little piece. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. Okay. Let me know if you on the same page. All right. Now, like I said, Martin was upset with the husband for confiding in his mom about wanting to go back to be an investigative journalist, and working again. But you ain't even tell the man that you're ready to be a president. I don't recall you having that conversation with him yet. But you want to be up there and be controlling and stuff, and then tell him that it's a bad idea. I don't want you to do it, and just think that that's it. I was kind of glad that the what's his name, Bradley. I was kind of glad Bradley stood up to Martin just a little bit, even though he ended up leaving the house. I think, saying ain't nobody trying to just sit around and watch their dreams and stuff wither away to help you get your shit together. I know that's motherfucker right. 'Cause let me tell you something. You over there watching it firsthand. You see how it played out with Danny and the boys old Uncle Bill. You saw how it played out with his aunt and uncle. So why would you want to put yourself in that position too? You see, you done gave up all your dreams and all of that to be by this fool side, and then at any moment they could flip on your ass. Oh, absolutely not. I know that's goddamn right. He ain't gotta like it, and I don't like that you feel indebted to him. I don't know what that's about, but I do feel like the guy being the investigative reporter that he is, I feel like he is still working. I feel like he could potentially be investigating his ass, investigating his own husband. Because I remember at the wedding he was on the phone, and Bradley was telling somebody, it does feel good to be appreciated sometimes, right? And then Martin walked up like, "Who you talking to? Like, or is it anybody? Like, I need to know whatever." So I'm thinking he probably was cheating on him. And now I'm like, nah, I don't think it got nothing to do with cheating. I think it got something to do with him being the reporter that he is. Because once the investigative reporter, always an investigative reporter, you're gonna be investigating the smallest, okay? Because that's just how you are, and that's just what you enjoy doing. So yeah, baby, he probably gonna find out about some shit that you did. Ooh, child, this get messy. So anywho. Again, Bill doesn't want Haley to work. Bill don't really want Haley to work. He telling her she could just leave the job and let him take care of her. Okay. Only for us to later on see Danny say that he was gonna do that, SHI. Right? But he gives her a card that has no limit on it. And she's like, I'm not gonna not work because I want to continue to be around my coworkers. I like them. I ain't got no other friends here. I'm gonna have a lonely ass life if I'm just sitting at this house and being a housewife, and I already ain't got no friends. Don't nobody really like me. I ain't got no family. Want nobody here or there with me. Some part of me feel like Haley ain't telling the full truth either. I think Haley does put on an innocent act, and she is doing a great job acting, for sure. But I feel like there is also more to Haley, and I'm ready to get to that too. I'm ready to get to you too, Haley, and your suspiciousness. What you got going on, Haley Bear? What's going on with you? Did you really lose all of your family? Or did you disown your own family or something and wanted to start a new life? And as innocent as you may appear, it do kind of sound, just as Danny said, that you came in and impeded, developed a friendship with her daughter only to finesse with the husband. It do kind of seem like that. Not excusing Bill for his faults at all, but it do kind of seem like that. And I just think there's more to the story with her. Cat. Like I said, Kat does not like Eva at all. And I love the vibe that Kat gets about her. Eva snooping around again and then around and got caught. Because she over there snooping around, being nosy, trying to find stuff on the computer. And when she found a video of Ted with Nicole, she sends it to Leslie. And it's like, why are you sending this to Leslie? Only for Leslie to spiral, be at the damn hospital. Eva's like, why are you here? You can't be here. And I said, watch what's going to happen with them. Leslie is going to start doing what she wants to do. Okay, because she's obsessive over this man. She's a weirdo, and she is going to drive a bigger wedge between she and Eva. Eva is then going to begin to see some things, in my opinion, about Leslie that she doesn't like. She's going to start keeping more things to the vest because she sees that she's uncontrollable, and she is going to find safety in Nicole and Ted, and she's going to start being loyal to them, is what I believe. I don't know if she's going to be their daughter. She could end up very well, much so, being their daughter. But it's making me think of that girl Kamaya that was over on what's that show? Fix Me, Iyanla Fix My Life, where she was taken from her mama. Was it Kamaya Mosley? I can't remember, but she was taken from her mama. and she was raised by somebody else all her life. The mama ended up getting arrested, but she still wanted to have a relationship with her because she couldn't let her go. That is the dynamic that I get from Leslie and Eva. And I do feel like Eva's not gonna fully let her mama go, but she is gonna start leaning towards that loyalty towards those two individuals. Okay, because despite her snooping and feeling like she has to take on Leslie's emotions about a situation that don't really got nothing to do with her, just a little bit, if it ain't her daddy. Um, Despite that, I think she does enjoy working for them. I think it does give her more purpose than what she has had. Vanessa and Doug, okay? So of course she cheating on him. He gambling the money away. Whatever, we got into that. All right. Jacob is pissing me off. And Jacob, of course, y'all know Jacob, I believe it's Jacob Hawthorne. He's married to Danny's daughter. What is Naomi? I think it's Naomi Hawthorne. So Jacob is married to Naomi, and he is still pressed about the fact that he did not arrest Danny. He done went and sat down with his daddy. I believe he was the police captain or chief or something at one point. Sat down with the daddy. The daddy's like, you know, you got a duty now to your family. That's your family now. You got to protect your family. Whatever. Like, let it go. It is what it is. But he wants to go over and beyond and do his damn job so much, and he likely ain't gonna get no medals for it or nothing. Okay, so he's over there calling a wife and telling her how much he loved her and all this and that. Girl, the way that he called her to let her know how much he cared about her was already letting me know Danny is finna get arrested before this episode is over with. When Danny was talking about good news this, good news that, I said, yep, soon as she pull up to that mama house, she getting arrested. Okay? And that's exactly what happened. Okay? He did end up arresting her ass. Yeah, very disappointing. And it was just so many different moments throughout the week that let me know it was gonna happen for Danny. And when Naomi was sitting over there at the piano, or before she was playing on the piano, she was admiring the love of her grandparents, and she was talking about when her and Jacob get to that place and what she hopes he looks like. And I said, baby, y'all not gonna get to that place because Jacob finna arrest your mama, and it's finna drive a wedge between y'all. Yeah. And part of the reason why Jacob did that was because he felt like he didn't do his job. So it didn't take much for Bill to have a conversation with him because he already wanted to do that anyway, right? Meaning Jacob. He already wanted to arrest her anyway. So Bill gets in his head and he decides to go ahead and arrest Danny. And this is where we are. All right. That's crazy. Anywho, so Chelsea don't want to do modeling no more, and she didn't tell her mama yet, so she need to go ahead and have that conversation with her. Chelsea said, L for modeling. If I do any type of modeling, it's giving POR. And because she just want to be out here thotting and bopping. And I wouldn't be surprised the way she just take randoms home and stuff. She gonna round and get herself tied up in some type of ring of some sort. And that is where Danny and the daddy is gonna have to come together to try and rescue their baby, because it's gonna be bigger than them. Okay, all this hatred that y'all got, it's gonna bring them back together. And I feel like, and I don't know when it's gonna take place. It may take a year, 2 years or something for it to actually go down, but they're gonna start reminiscing on the feelings and the emotions and stuff and what it was like. Okay, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up having to slip up and sleep together at some point. Okay, and then gonna have to hide their SHI from Haley. And I'm not gonna feel probably too bad for Haley anyway, because listen, what goes around comes right back around. Okay, that's called karma, period. So what else happened? So Danny, that's when we talked about Danny pulling up to Leslie, letting her know she's done. She also gave her the warning of how her NIGGA gonna operate. What else did we get into? Yeah, I clocked that Chelsea T when I told y'all in the beginning. I know we first talked about it on the Ooh Ladies First panel, and I was telling everybody that I felt like Chelsea was going to be either gay or bisexual or something, because the first time they had the conversation, everybody was talking to her about marriage and lifelong partnership and take your time or don't take your time. And I was like, she ain't studying y'all talking about because she gay, or either she bisexual. She ain't trying to do that. And now we learned that I was not wrong. So what else? Cat. I like Cat, bro. Until Cat pisses me off, I'm loving me some Cat. Cat is often, in my opinion, I feel like Cat's opinion isn't often considered by her mom. I don't know, but I feel like Nicole may have a little bit of her mama in her. And, Cat is trying to warn her mom about her assistant. And I'm not saying that you gotta fully operate in what your daughter's saying, but just take heed to what she's saying, because the daughter's not wrong. And Nicole's gonna be very regretful once she finds out. But Kat tries to have the conversation with her mom, and it was two times that made me feel like Kat's opinion isn't often considered, or maybe her mom would be too hard on her or whatever. And one of them was when she told her about the girl being in her office and how she said, "Oh well, mama, if that was me or Martin, you would have did this or that to us, right?" And then the other time was when Kat said she couldn't make it to her mother's event, and her mother was like, "Oh, that's fine, you know, it's all good, yada yada yada." And then Kat says, "Oh, so I guess you and Eva will figure it out." So she's a little jealous that her mom will get closer with Eva. And I think that there is a relationship there that Kat wishes she had with her mom that her mother doesn't give to her, but often gives to her assistants. For some reason. But there's something up with that mother-daughter dynamic that we'll learn at a later time. Because I feel like Danny and her mom have like a similar issue too. You know what I'm saying? Similar conflict as well. And I don't know if it's that they didn't follow in the order that the mothers may have wanted them to go, or what it is, but I feel like there's something. So, what else? I think that was pretty much it. I think that was pretty much it. I think that was it. Not a whole lot else happened. You guys can leave your thoughts and comments down below of what all y'all thought of last week's episode and what all took place. So leave your thoughts down below, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, honey. Bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like ages. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over.